Hi, today I'm doing a review on the spellcrackers.com series by Suzanne McLeod. I think I'm pronouncing that McLeod or McLeod. Oh yes, I got my hair done today, by the way. I'm happy with it, which is good. Anyway, back to the review. This book, it's a strange one because it has lots of good elements and a few minor ones. So it's a series that revolves around Fae, and it's set in London, which is nice for a change. And the author really revels in the Fae mythology in this series. Like, every character in the book has something, like they're either a banshee or a troll or a witch or a satyr or a vampire. So I mean, it's a very magical world. Jenny, she's our protagonist, and she's a banshee, and she's the only full-blooded Fae living in London. And I like her because, you know, she doesn't try to let anything faze her. She's always trying to live a normal life, even though she isn't that normal. And that's what I like about her. And she does have this kind of really interesting and tragic background, like they always kind of do. And she has this kind of obligatory flaw which all protagonists kind of need. And there's a good bunch of characters in there too. I do think one of the negatives of this series though is that there's too many characters, or in a way there's too many characters involved in the storyline. Like, it was really hard to keep up with the characters and their connections, and that was a negative for me. The story itself as well got kind of overly complicated and confusing to follow at times, and it's not the easiest book to read. Like, there's lots of difficult to pronounce words. Like, I really feel that there should be like a phonetic glossary at the end or something like that. Okay, so the author decided to add vampires to this series, and I was enamored in the whole Fae aspect of the books already. Like, there was no need to bring in vampires. Like, there was already Fae, witches and trolls. I think the vampires was just to kind of overload. Like, I feel like the author felt vampires are kind of in at the moment, so she should always try to stick vampires in there. And in this series are kind of that, you know, cliched, spooky, fade away in the mist type vampires, and I wasn't crazy about that aspect. But she does do something interesting with it. I mean, this author really aims to make her series original, which is good. Like, there's different illnesses people can get from being fed on by vampires, and yeah, there's like a whole medical and scientific element to it as well, which I enjoyed reading about. So like, the author does try to make the whole vampire element interesting, but I do think it was too much. There was enough with the Fae and the witches and everything, so I don't think she needed the vampires. So the storylines, they're engaging, albeit a little difficult to follow at times. And the Fae world encompasses different realms and kind of worlds with different gods. So I mean, it is an interesting world and magical and different. So I did like these books, but as I said, they did get a bit confusing at times with too many characters. The author just needed to rein it in a little bit and kind of focus on one thing. Because, like in other series, like for example the Mercy Thompson, which has werewolves and fae and vampires, the author tends to focus on one in each book for the main story. That might be helpful with this, but I don't think it's possible really when I think about it. So yeah, like, it's a good series, I recommend it. It's a bit different to your typical series because it's a lot more involved and very English as well. So yeah, I liked it, I do recommend it, but just beware the stories get a bit crazy and then there's lots involved. But that's my review. And now I'm going to do a more spoilerish review, so if you don't know any details of spoilers, please stop now. Okay, so Finn was kind of like the love interest, and I really liked Finn. I thought, you know, they were kind of cute together, and then I was really disappointed when we find out he was told to court her just in order to get her pregnant. And yeah, I was disappointed with this, but I do think he really fell for her. But then the author decides to go and I was kind of annoyed and frustrated with the kind of bitter end to their relationship, like a potentially great couple. And he decides to leave that world and go into like the more like Fae type world with his daughter, and yeah, I was like, that's it, that's the end of them. Like, I don't like Malik the vampire. I don't like him as a love interest, and I don't particularly like his character. He's just that too cliched vampire, and I don't know what his angle is. Like, does he really like Jenny? I'm just not crazy about him. Yeah, he's just controlling. I know he's going to be in the next one a lot probably because Finn is gone. Terrible end to that relationship there. But I love Hugh and his fatherly relationship with Jenny. I think that's a really nice story, how he helped her, you know, when she was younger, when she ran away, and he still looks out for her. I like him and their relationship. As I said, the vampire element was just totally unnecessary in my opinion. There was enough for a good bunch of storylines with just the Fae alone. But that just twist came out of nowhere when Jenny was able to turn into a vampire. I thought, oh my god, where did that come from? It was like a completely different book. But like, I do think it's interesting how like her whole background really was fascinating. That her father like sold her to like this psychotic vampire, and she ran away at 14, and then he kind of bit her, and then she ended up being addicted to like V3 or the vampire venom, or 3V. Yeah, so that whole element too, with, you know, the whole side effects of being bitten by vampires, like just different illnesses like V1, V2, 3V, and then like she's addicted to it, so that's kind of like obligatory flaw really. So yeah, I like Jenny, but I didn't like when she was like a vampire and like drinking blood and all that. It was just a step too far. There was enough excitement and everything without all that. But I mean, brave by the author because it was a big twist. So yeah, so that tattoo spell thing wasn't needed. But I mean, as I said, the storylines are engaging, they're exciting. There's always twists and lots of characters. But yeah, just a bit crazy. There's a bit too much going on at times. But I mean, I like Jenny, and I'm looking forward to the next book just to see what happens. I like the whole pregnancy storyline too. It was similar to the kind of Rochelle Mead series, the Dark Swan series. They all need to just kind of like impregnate her, and I kind of want to see that even go a bit further, maybe if she got pregnant. But I mean, I'm glad that the author didn't drag it out too, because it would have been annoying if she dragged it out for books. But yeah, so the next one now isn't out until 2012, and I think there's already a description out for it and everything. So yeah, I mean, they're a different kind of group of books, and I hope you check them out and just let me know what you think about them. And that's my review. So thank you very much for watching, and tune in to my next one.